A very popular salvation teaching today is that lost people must turn from their sins in order to have everlasting life. Is that true? That is not true. It is false. I'm going to give you 4 major theological problems with that teaching. First problem, there is no verse, sets of verses, there's no teaching in the New Testament that requires a lost person to turn from multiple sins to have everlasting life. It's not biblical. The only thing that a lost person must do to have everlasting life is to put their faith, belief, trust in Jesus, Him alone, and nothing else. For more information on that eternally important topic, please see video 152 pinned to the top of my page. Here's the second major theological problem with that teaching, that a lost person must turn from their sins to have everlasting life. Now you got to get this. No lost person in the history of mankind have ever turned from their sins in every thought, word, and deed, every minute of every day. That is impossible for humans in their flesh. So the bottom line on this teaching is that salvation teaching has gotten so bad that we are now giving impossible requirements to lost people to have everlasting life. You got to ponder that. Here's the third problem with that teaching. A lost person may indeed take that to heart. They may do their best to turn from their sins. They may do their best to do what? To clean up their life, which is what? That is works. Now we know that we're not saved by works. Ephesians 2:8-9 is clear. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. Also see 2 Timothy 1:9 and Titus 3:5. Now here's the fourth major theological problem with that teaching. If a lost person is told they must turn from their sins to have everlasting life, they may instantly see that as an overwhelming task, an impossible task, which it is, and immediately quit listening to all this Christianity stuff that they're hearing. They may instantly know that that's not true and there's something wrong with the people or the person teaching them that, and completely reject Christianity. Now, why do so many people, pastors and Sunday school teachers, teach lost people that they must turn from their sins to have everlasting life? Well, because they have completely abandoned the Bible as their authority for truth. Well, what are they looking to? Colossians 2:8 will tell us, I'm going to read this in part, I'm going to read it twice. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men. The teaching that a lost person must turn from their sins to have everlasting life is a tradition of men, and it is a lie. Any lost person who is trusting in their ability to turn from their sins to have everlasting life will go straight to hell if they die believing that. Now I'm going to close by telling you what the will of God the Father Almighty is to have everlasting life. Jesus will tell us at John 6:40, and this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life. To have everlasting life, you simply put your belief on Jesus. The object of your belief for everlasting life must be 100% totally on the Lord Jesus Christ. The teaching that a lost person must turn from their sins to have everlasting life is totally false. It is a ticket to hell.